Hello everybody! Let me make sure my mic is on, make sure my music's playing, and welcome everyone back to another Zero stream. Tails is here, and Zigzagoon will be back. Zero, your babies have gotten so much more active, it seems. Yeah! Like yesterday and the day before specifically, they've been so much more active, letting me pick them up. They don't like it still, it seems. Like if I hold them for too long, they start scrambling, and if I try to grab them too fast, they run away. But they're actually letting me pick them up now, which is great. It makes putting them back in the cage after playtime so much more easier. Unfortunately, Domino, the little black and white kid over here, he's taken to jumping out of the playpen, so I need to order some more units to make the playpen a little higher, a little taller, so that they don't get out. But yeah, hi everyone, thanks for coming to another stream. I hope you guys have had a good Monday. I almost forgot that I had to stream today. I was sitting upstairs playing Animal Crossing, and it was 7 o'clock, and I was like, I think there's something I need to be doing. Alright, let's open up the last Pokemon family. I'm gonna call this 16. I'm gonna delete everything from this document so we can start afresh. And before we get going, as always, we're going to read about Whismur, because last week I did promise that we would get back to Pokemon families. It was more a promise for me. I know you guys probably don't really care. Y'all are awesome. You usually go with whatever I decide to do on the streams, but I need to get back into Pokemon families, and I've been putting off Whismur for far too long. So, as the rats play around in the background, we are going to back to rat cam, please. How about this then? We can where is it? Make this a little bigger while I read about Whismur in the background. Let's see. Alright, so Whismur is the Whisper Pokemon. Ha! Its Japanese name is Gonyonyo. Gonyonyo. What is strange. Sorry, I got distracted by Domino actually using the foraging toy that I got. They're so smart. They figured it out finally. I'm making it very easy for them though. It's hanging right above the hammock. So they don't really have to reach for it, but eventually I'm gonna hang it higher in the cage so they have to reach for the sky. Alright, so let's see if I can get some inspiration, because I've been putting off Whismur for so long. I don't even like have anything against Whismur. It's just because I keep thinking I should do Whismur, and then I do something else. I start getting like, oh, Whismur, this Pokemon. Even though it's not even his fault. So let's take a look. Soundproof and rattled. It's a pretty small Pokemon at 2 feet. Whismur is mauve. That's an interesting way to put it. I guess it isn't exactly pink. I always thought of it as just straight pink, but supposedly it's not. It is a little more purplish. A mauve bipedal Pokemon with a spherical body. Its eyes are black and shaped like plus signs. Now, does Whismur have an eye that's like pinchy in close, or does it have 8 eyes like a spider? Are each one of those black dots an eye? It has a simple wide mouth. 2 small openings on top of its head act as ear canals. Covering its ear canals are long, yellow-tipped flaps resembling rabbit ears. It has stubby arms and yellow-tipped feet that lack toes and have plus-shaped markings underneath. Oh, I didn't know about that about its feet. Obviously 8 eyes. Go big or go home. Rat, you are here for the cursed content, and I love it. Above its now, if it also has plus shape markings on its feet, does that mean it also has 4 eyes per feet? There's a hole in the center of its tail. Oh yeah, it does have a hole in its tail. I always forget about that part, but I do know about it. Whismur are a timid species. Feet. I don't know if I can go with that. Being easily frightened by loud noises, Whismur's murmurs are barely audible. But when it senses danger, it lets out an ear-splitting cry, as loud as a jet plane taking off. Startled by its own cries, it will cry louder. When it finally stops crying, it will fall asleep from exhaustion. Because it breathes through its ear canals, it can cry continually. However, it will stop crying if its ear covers are shut. Whismur live in caves. Ooh, boy. Wheeler's here, Ratskull is here, Zigzagoon has returned, Mouse is here on the piano, and rats, indeed, rats. What good boys. Nightmares of Uproar spam from Ruby and Omega Ruby. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh yeah, I remember the ear breathing from Alterity. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see if there's anything down here. I want to see its tail hole. Oh, and it has like a little, what is that? A stripe above its bum. Gotta remember the stripe above its bum. Otherwise, pretty simple. So let me just take a screenshot. Oh, the shiny is perfectly pink. For some reason, I always saw Whismur in my mind as just pink. Let's go on to Loudred. The big voice Pokemon. One of my favorite parts of the Detective Pikachu actually is the weird beatboxing Loudred. It's a great sort of Easter egg. I don't know if it would be called an Easter egg because it's right up front center. You don't need any like knowledge going in necessarily. It's like an interesting take, I guess is the right word for it. Interpretation. Usage? I don't know. Loudred is a purple bipedal Pokemon with a square build. It has a large mouth with yellow lips. I don't like that word. Lips. It's one of my least favorite words. And peg-like teeth in each corner. When its mouth is open, its large tongue and throat are visible. Above its prominent mouth is a stubby nose. On top of its head are two short stalks that support its circular ears. The inside of its ears have alternating black and purple rings, but there is only a single black ring on the back. There are yellow stripes on its back in a pattern that resembles sound waves. Surfing on a sound wave, it has arms with 3 fingers and short legs with 2 peg-like toes. On the sole of each foot is a yellow cycle. Loudred is able to shout at high volumes by inhaling. Wait, it shouts by inhaling? And then exhales using powerful stomach muscles. Okay. Additionally, its round ears serve as loudspeakers, and it will stomp its feet to build power. Its powerful voice can tip trucks and splinter wooden houses, but it can be temporarily deaf when it finishes shouting. Loudred can be found in caves. I grab a back sprite of Loudred. And grab this front image illustration. Oh, hello, Domino. Hello. How you doing? Zig says, I remember naming my Whismur Soundwave. Mouse says, draw this family playing musical instruments. That's actually a great idea. I really want to draw them like in a band or something, but I hate drawing instruments. It's like one of the hardest things for some reason. I don't even know why, but I will give it a try. I will certainly give it a try. Some of my favorite kind of group picture type images are like playing music. Oh. And then on the front of Explode, there's actually a design on its tummy too. I need to show you guys this Explode with its mouth closed. Although Blaster also works. No, better idea. Beatbox contest. Mouse says clarinet for Whismur, trumpet for Loudred, and tuba for Explode. Oompa Oompa. Boombox. By the way, I'm bouncing between streams. Good luck, Ziggs. Loudred Explode was the Hoenn chases the gang around Pokemon, replacing Beedrill from Kanto and Ursaring from Johto. Yeah, I remember that from the movie, because the Pikachu, what's it called, Polka? The Pika Polka Pikachu short before the movie had a random Loudred, like, in it, so you can kind of assume that's kind of a running gag, as it were. And then just a random Ludicolo shows up, because why not? Oh, I didn't know about the ear patterns on the back. That's interesting. You could imagine it's meant to look like eyes, so predators think it's looking at them. Just like tigers, right? Tail says, I love seeing your boys run around. I'm so happy. They're so, like, active now. I also asked the breeder for some advice on taming, and she said to make the cage a little more minimalist, so like less hidey holes, so that they have to see me more, and like then start giving them back their hides once they're less. But I think they're pretty good. I did take away a couple of boxes just for today. And I might take out some of those hammocks or move them to like spread them out a little more now that there's more space. But yeah, they're doing great. They're just still scared of being picked up, which is fine. I only need to pick you guys up when I need to put you back in the cage. But earlier today, if you guys were here, Duncan actually climbed on my arm on his own, which he has never done before. Domino has been the more, like, tame one, I suppose. But, Duncan finally got on me. I'm pretty sure he thought I had treats, though, which is why. They just woke up, so they're kind of hungry. I've been saving snacks and treats for Mondays. I gave them a bowl of bananas today, so that they can come out and eat those while on stream. Anyway, back to reading. Exploud is a blue bipedal Pokemon with a large mouth. It has red eyes, a stubby nose, 2 peg-like teeth in each jaw. It has protruding tubes with holes along its body. I wonder if each of those tubes is an ear canal. 7 forming a crest on top of its head, 1 on each elbow and knee, 2 along its back, and 1 at the end of each of its 2 tails. The tubes, along with its head crests and tails, are tipped with yellow, while the ones along its back have yellow semicircular patterns on either side. This is sounding very complex. I feel like this would have been a fun one to do if someone just gave me this description without like any specific pronouns or like nouns, and just like see what it turns out to be. I would be like, tubes? There are 2 yellow semicircle markings on its belly, but they are rarely seen due to its giant mouth. Its arms have 3 thin stripes below its elbow, 3 fingers, stripes on its... Oh, those lines. I don't call those stripes. I don't know what you would call them, but like when I think stripes, I'm thinking like a band of color, you know? Each foot has 4 claws, 3 on the front, 1 in the back, and a yellow paw pad. And he stopped filing his claws down like what Loudred does. You think Loudred's toenails are like actually really long, like Hellboy, but then he like files them down, and that's why they're so blunt. I never really see or think of Loudred with its mouth closed, but I kind of dig the look. Anyways, let's put the rats away and give ourselves a little drawing time. Bye bye, rats. And let's see what we got. So, having never drawn Exploud or Loudred before, I might have drawn Whismur at some point. I'm going to pull up the reference and just kind of draw defaults Pokemon, what they look like, what they're supposed to look like, and kind of explore them. Not spend too much time on it, hopefully. And as doing so, contemplate some other options. The Whismur eyes are very distressing to me. I do not like Whismur's eyes. It does remind me, I do have to do all Pokemon bunnies at some point. There's a lot of bunnies. A lot of good buns. I've done group pictures of all the dogs, all the cats, all the rats, and mice. And when I was doing the mice and rats, I didn't add +Minum, though some people suggested I should, because they didn't fit. But I used the excuse that I would do them for the bunny picture. Because I think with the way their ears are shaped, they can pass perfectly as bunnies. Welcome back, Zigzagoon. Maracas for Whismur, like in the dancing thing. Whismur! Bagpipes for Exploud. He doesn't need bagpipes, he's already a bagpipe. Love seeing your boys run around. Thank you, Tails. Air patterns on the back. That's like Golbat with its mouth closed. I don't think I've ever seen Golbat with it. Oh wait, no. In the Pokemon Stadium game, when it dies, I think it closes its mouth. Or when it like attacks. I don't remember. Solidok and Clown was busy eating pasta. It was so cute. Yay! Although, while it does happen in Unova, also, before I go on, just so you know, my computer, I might take a picture and like show you next week, but my computer is like very, very far away from where the rats are. And it's facing the opposite direction. So when I plug in the camera, the webcam that I got for the rats, I cannot see a feedback feed. So when I was holding Duncan up for the camera, I was just hoping that he was in frame, or that like, you know, all I can do is, here is the camera, and hopefully you see him. Although, while it does happen in Nova with Scolipede, I'm not sure it could be called a running gag there, since it only happens 2 to 3 times. Scolipede is also a lot scarier than the previous running gags. Hangry rats, hangry hippos, Munchie Zigzagoon. Alright. I've gone like full nocturnal these past few days. And there have been times when I would get the munchies and I would get some 4 a.m. cereal. It's pretty bad. Last night I went to sleep a little earlier at 3 o'clock, which, you know, is a little better than 4 to 5. But I'm starting to get the urge to catch up on My Hero Academia, which I just found out today, am 20 plus episodes behind. So if I ever get started on that, I will perish. So I'll try not to do it on Sunday. I have a pretty bad self-control habit with when it comes to anime or any show, really, any serialized cartoon or TV show. I had the same problem with Supernatural and Community back when those were a thing, where I cannot, like, it's just always going to be one more episode. Just one more episode. Even Community, where it wasn't like a continuous story, like every episode was a standalone, like, different thing, I would still like one more episode. And it's not a new problem. Like, way back when I was a little baby Zero, on Saturday mornings watching Cartoon Network or whatever channels we had, when Ed, Edd n Eddy was on TV, I would watch an episode and I'll be like, okay, that's it. I don't even really like this show. It's time to like do something else. And then after the end credits play, they would immediately start that theme song and the next episode would start and I'll be like, well, I guess I have no choice. I must keep watching. So yeah, I've always had this kind of unable to end a watch session kind of problem. Lately, I've been getting through some shows because I've found friends to watch them with. So they will set up the shows and we'll all watch together. And then afterward, and we have like a set number of episodes that we're watching per day. I had a friend who I watched Mob Psycho through with, like, I think last year, and Blood Blockade Battlefront we just finished last week, and we're gonna start that was with another friend, and we're gonna start Log Horizon soon, maybe this week. And then I have two other friends who I've been watching Noragami with, which we just finished that, so that was great. It's fun. I can't recommend Noragami because it's so good and it's only 2 seasons long, and like nobody knows if it's gonna continue, so like I can't, properly recommend it to anyone because I was so sad when there was no more, especially since my friend kept telling me that the manga is way ahead and like there's so much cool stuff happening that we just never got any of. And then tomorrow me and the Noragami friends are going to watch Mob Psycho, which I recommended. So I'm getting anime done. I'm just, because it's so like curated right now, it's like structured, I'm worried to actually start watching My Hero on my own, because I'm just gonna perish. It's like 20 some episodes. Of each episode is 30 minutes long. Oh, I'm also watching Pokemon anime on Wednesdays and Saturdays now, which is gonna be fun. According to Wheeler, it's gonna be the next 3 years of our lives. Not to mention what we're yeah! Oh my goodness. We're starting from the beginning. Kanto 101, we're doing this. We are doing this. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to watch all of the Pokemon anime. I've just been like too intimidated by the number of episodes. With my problem, like, I would perish. I would just die. You would never see me again. You would never hear from me again. So thank goodness Wheeler is curating that. It's great. It's been great. I've been enjoying anime again. Going through my anime to watch list, a lot of titles on there. Some of them I don't even recognize anymore. Like I have to Google to remind myself what they were and why I put them on. And some I just don't really care for anymore. I don't really want to watch anymore. I think like one of them I took off the other day when looking for the next show to watch with my Blood Blockade friend. And I saw Familiar of Zero, and I was like, I must have put this on the list. because of the name, because it had my name in it, but like knowing what it's about and like the type of show it is, I cannot imagine myself enjoying it, so I went and took that off the list. It's a fun premise, but I don't know. I don't have enough time in my life to enjoy a show like that. Not to mention, I still need to watch the Noragami dub, at least one episode, to see how bad it is. And then there's also, I think, 2 OVAs, like, not OVAs, what are they called now? Because they're not, I guess they're still OVAs. Yeah, that still works. I was thinking OVA as, like, direct-to-video, but then I think it stands for original animated, no wait, original video animation? I don't know what it stands for. Does the V stand for video, like video cassette? Because, like, that doesn't carry anymore, but maybe it stands for something different. Okay, teeth. I love its blocky teeth. These big old blocky teeth. Yeah, we just started Pokemon last Sunday. Almost forgot that one. But that one, we're doing 3 episodes, twice a week. And so hopefully we will, you know, be done by whenever. I'm not gonna do math. Where personally, I've seen a couple episodes from Kanto. I had the first 3 VHSs, I think. So, you know, back in the day, if you don't know, there used to be these boxes called a VHS, and inside there would be a reel of black tape, and on that tape is basically written your data for the movie, and it would spool in one direction. And you could only fit 3 episodes on each. I don't know if you could only fit 3 episodes or if that's just how much they could afford, but yeah, I would watch those episodes a lot because I owned them. And then I had let's see, 2 Johto VHSs. I had the one with the Quagsire. I had the one with the Charizard. I don't know if those were on the same VHS, but I had those 2 episodes that I remember. But I do know I had at least 2 VHSs. I just don't remember all the episodes on them. But I had the Charscific Valley one where they get rid of Charizard. And then I just watched the movies. So, like, I never really seen a lot of the anime. I think I skipped all of Orange Island. I did catch a couple of Kanto on TV while it was coming out. So, like, just a smattering here and there. And I have knowledge of a lot of the episodes. Honestly, I think, thinking back, I might have actually seen a lot of Kanto episodes. Like, now that I think about it, I just probably forgot because it's been so long. I don't know. I enjoyed a lot of the movies. Let me go back up. Check out the chat. Look at black and white moving sprites. The way it snaps its mouth open and closed is so whack. It's great. I love the black and white moving sprites. That was the height of Pokemon sprite art. And then it just went downhill with the switch to 3D. Scorpio is probably the scariest of them, but it's also probably the one they beat most often. The other day, I stayed up the entire night, was too hungry to go to sleep, so I went to the kitchen first, ran into my dad while he was making breakfast. It's like, I woke up really early. Relatable. That's how I watched over 100 episodes of the Pokemon anime in 1 week. Oh my goodness. Marathon game strong, says Rat Skull, and I agree. This sounds familiar. Oh, I heard of Log Horizon. Log Horizon is an isekai where they, I think, are focusing on building a proper society. That's as much as I know. I didn't do a whole lot of research when choosing it. It was just the one that I figure we could both enjoy. It's so weird picking anime for my other friend, because I've seen a couple of things and I've heard of a lot of things. He hasn't seen or heard of anything except for Death Note. It's so weird. He's like, I've literally not seen anything. But he also insists that we watch something that I haven't seen, that both of us have not seen. Which means, of all the good stuff that I've seen, that I can, like, that could be, you know, his, like, gateway, or at least his, like, crash course / what would you call it? Not like introduction. Anyway, like his anime education could start with something good that I, you know, can vouch for, but instead we watched Blood Blockade, which like is like anime advanced. It has no story, it's all style, no substance. It's like hard to keep up with. Now we're doing Log Horizon, which is an isekai, but like not one I've seen. I have heard some good things about it, so I think it's one of the good ones. But yeah, it's so weird picking anime for us. Yeah, so hopefully it's good. I'll let you guys know if you're interested, if I think about it. No mention of what we were watching? No, it got to me. I you don't know this, but I didn't see you say that before I mentioned it. It did come to me first. Don't worry, Wheeler, I got you. I haven't made any progress on anything lately. Probably closer to 4 years. That sounds like fun. I actually never watched the anime aside from a few random episodes. Not true, I have been catching up on some webcomics. Webcomics are good. Y'all are keeping me from going nutso, too. On average, I watch about 1 episode a day on my last watch through. That was composed of going months without watching anything, then watching 100 episodes. Oh my goodness, don't say by Gen 9. We will lose that battle. We've caught a select few episodes of Kanto. Hearing you explain it is turning me to dust. The VHS. Yeah, I remember the cassette tapes. I read the Magnemite, Diglett, Hitmonchan episode VHS. Most of the anime I caught was during the Johto Journeys, the one where Charizard left. When I was 9, I ruined 3 VHS movies by trying to take the film and see the individual frames. Small brain moment for me. Aw, shucks. Oh, that sucks. Unfortunate, since most of the movies are worse. Most are enjoyable, but also most are worse than the regular show. Well, that basically applies to all anime. Yeah, it does. Anyway, Black White was the height of Pokemon Spreader. I see you're a man of culture. I feel you on the binging issue. Yes. Glances at Detective Conan. Hi, Drake Laker Take. Sorry, I've been just catching up on the chat. Zero, I've been doing my Nuzlocke hashtag. 2 ships still alive. Beat Elisa. Yay! Hoytails. I'm going to Driftvale. Zany, Wolf Hybrid Legion. Hi, what's going on? I'm just drawing some Pokemon and chatting with the chat. Sorry, I do occasionally take a long time to catch up with the chat because I go for stretches where I'm drawing a lot, and I get in the groove, you know. And so I have to catch up, and I don't. You guys are so fun to chat with. I don't want to miss anything. So unfortunately, there might be some time when I'm not doing anything. But if my rats are awake, they can entertain you on the bottom corner. Oh, looks like they're all missing. Great. Thanks for nothing, boys. You lazy bums. They've been sleeping all day and now they're asleep again. Maybe I'm talking too loud. Maybe they're freaking out. Alright, so I did a little doodle to kind of get myself familiarized with the Pokemon. Now let's try and come up with some sort of composition. Now I've already been suggested that I do them playing instruments, which I actually really like the idea of. Taking a break from drawing. Congratulations on beating Elsa. I hope it goes well for you, says Rat. I evolved my Sewaddle, Zebstrika, and my Pampor. Excellent. Got the Soothe Bell. I lost 4 Pokemon. I'm just recording from Castelia too. They've been asleep all day and now they're sleeping again. Teenagers. I'll draw it when I beat the league. Yes. Good luck, Drake. Just a word of advice. If you are going to hand letter your text, make it more legible, and otherwise I'd suggest using the text tool. It can be a little hard to understand what your text is saying. But good luck. Anyways, so let's say Whismur is on, what did you say, the clarinet? Loudred on the trumpet. And Explode on the tuba. Oh my goodness. How am I gonna fit all these guys in? I still don't quite understand Explode. He's got too much going on. I guess he's got one big horn on the middle, 2 on the side, on either side, and then 1 going down. That goes to his mouth. Explode is too big. How does a tuba look? I know how a trumpet looks, but I don't know what a tuba looks like. I think there's a thing that goes up like this, and then it goes around. Does it have to go around the person? No, that's a different instrument. Tuba goes like this, I think. I don't know where the nozzles are. I'm just gonna put them anywhere. And then it goes like that. I don't know. I can't fit them on the tuba. So if we're gonna have them playing instruments, see, the problem is it would be fun if like someone like the Whismur was like conducting, you know? Like with a little bow suit and stuff. But 2 instruments doesn't a band make. So I'm gonna have to draw the Exploud first. Cause he's the biggest. I think, you know, with a lot of these Pokemon families, the baby Pokemon, the initial stage, the rookie, the whatever you call them, the smallest member always ends up kind of stuck in wherever because I have to set up the big guys first, because they take up the most space. And then I start putting the other members in tuba, and then I just kind of run out. Okay. Wheeler says I only handwrite text for sound effects and action-y stuff. I am really bad at sound effects. I really love how manga does sound effects. The way that it like goes into the image and it's like becomes part of the illustration. Very good. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to do that. Why does my Snivy have a crush on my Zebstrika and he likes her back? I don't know. No, I want the ice type. I need a flying type. I'm dead. Wait, I'm putting up my resolution. Okay. Exploud is also the mon that got demonstrated on why the argument of just have the bigger Pokemon eat the smaller Pokemon in one bite doesn't work. What? Wait, excuse me? In the anime. Wheeler, where's the emerald you told me about Ensemble on Comic Fury? Not everyone is as engaged in the anime as Wheeler. I'm sorry, what do you mean by just have the bigger Pokemon eat the smaller Pokemon in one bite? Are you talking about my Phalanx? Is this a call out for my Phalanx? Remember when we were fighting that Avalugg and we were like, if you were to eat a boy, would it be like this or like this? Okay, I think he might be like holding it. Maybe he's like mad about something. Let me see if I can turn his head down slightly so he's looking downward. So like the Whismur family goes through the same change in their facial structure that I like from Graveler to Golem, where they go from pug face to like muzzle. Graveler has like that's his face right here. But he has like this sort of round shaped face where it's just round, like smushed flat. Maybe his lip sticks out a little bit at the most. It's like that. And then Golem turns into like a lizard, almost animal-like. It becomes more animal-like, sort of head. Exploud kind of has the same, where it goes from this like kind of monkey-like short snout, like almost human-like, with the big lips, but it's flat. It's smooth. But then Exploud, if you look, his nose goes out a little more. I'm exaggerating that, but like he has a bit of a lizard snoot coming out. That's the way. I like it. Now, Machoke and Machop does the exact opposite. It goes from weirdly handsome lizard boy. I don't know what his head looks like, honestly. I can't remember. To I don't have a face. Anyway. Okay, so what if Loudred is like pointing to himself? I don't know if he should be pointing to himself with his like thumb. If that would read well. Or if he should just be pointing to himself. Or maybe he's not pointing to himself at all. What if he's just like, you gotta be serious. I mean, you can't be serious. Come on. Oh, where does the hand go? I guess on the outside is fine. I think he has the same teeth. He has 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Yeah. This guy has Gyarados jaws. Okay, let's catch up with the chat. Albert, I heard you're still alive! As an Exploud in the anime shoved Iris's Axew in its mouth whole, and Axew just used Dragon Rage from inside Exploud. That's why you must kill your prey before you eat them. My goodness. How many kids' cartoons, or just like cartoons in general, or even movies, where like some giant monster swallows someone whole and they just like find their way back out? You got Hercules, you got Attack on Titan, you got like any number of like small animal stories, I'm sure. I can't think of them off the top of my head. You gotta kill your prey before you eat them. I think like Finding Nemo even does it at one point. Ridiculous. You monsters. Let's see. Just made explodey stuff shoot out of all its ear holes. Oh no. That sounds terrible. I hate Clay, make him a douchebag. I'm gonna do it. My Emerald comic is on DA. Yes! Elisa says to get the bridge open, I will tell your mom about the play gel you have under your bed. Oh, I see why I did that there in the field. I don't know. Okay. What does Loudred have? An electric guitar? I was thinking trumpet? Because Mouth suggested that? Electric guitar is cool though, like, okay. What if Exploud is mad because he wants to play, he brought a tuba to play on the band, and Exploud and Whismur are on how do you differentiate them? Exploud thought they were playing on like a marching band or like a school band, and Exploud and Whismur are here with their like electric guitars and their drum set or whatever, and it's like, no. You got it wrong. And he's like, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Exploud is the one like teaching band, and then, or like, I don't know. Which way would be funnier? Exploud? Maybe it doesn't have to be specific. Okay, let's do it. The Exploud brought the wrong instrument. They have no place for a tuba on the band, because that way Whismur can be like with a microphone or something. Or no, Loudred would have the microphone. He plays the guitar and he sings on the band. Exploud wants to play his tuba on the band, and Loudred and Whismur don't know what they can do with a tuba, because that's not really a traditionally well, it's I guess it's too much of a traditional instrument. That's not the kind of band we're in, Dad. I don't know if he's their dad or what. Neighbor guy. Just dude. It's like, what do you mean I can't be on the band? Are you being discriminating me? Are you discriminating me because of my instrument? Are you being elitist? Are you disrespecting my art? In high school, I played violin. I played violin in middle school through high school. Never was any good at it because I hated practicing. But I did have a private tutor, so I survived. But it was a lot of fun being able to play with the group. So I didn't have to be very good on my own. I hated solos, because that's just you standing up and like, you gotta just play a song that you've memorized. Go. I had terrible stage fright, so those were horrible. But in the orchestra, you know, if you missed a note here or there, as long as you're not too loud, as long as your bow is going in the right direction, then you're usually good. You don't stand out too bad. And in high school, the band and the orchestra are separate. And so we had a bit of a rivalry, which was funny because I was in the symphonic band, which was kind of like an after-school thing. It was an extra sort of thing where you had to stay after school to be in. And you had to audition for it, so only the good players got in. Somehow I made it in. I swear, you guys, I'm not a good player, but I guess there's like, you know, a smaller... okay, I can be good if I practice. I was bad because I didn't practice. So I was good enough because I practiced for the audition, and I got in. And then I stopped practicing. But it was great because it was an after-school thing where the band and the orchestra came together to make music as one. In the symphony orchestra, it was like every like orchestra kids goal is to be on the symphony orchestra because they had the best sounding stuff. It's just the music is fuller when you have the full band. Yeah, I remember this one time we would make fun of each other, and the band people were like, "Oh, you strings people, you're just playing blocks of wood," or like, "You're playing trees." And we're like, "Oh yeah? Well, you band people spit in your instrument." It was a good time. Band was a lot of fun. I think my band director was still one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. Okay, there's Loudred. Not Loudred, sorry. Exploud. He's very angry about something. And now I don't know where to put the other guys, because he's so big! Let me shrink him a little to the side. He's looking down, which makes me think he's yelling at Whismur. Which means, would Loudred just be like really angry about it? Like, hey, don't pick on Whismur. Whismur might be like in tears over here. Now I'm like, the whole story has changed. Suddenly I'm like imagining. I never really. The whole time I was drawing Exploud, I was thinking he's yelling at Loudred over here. But now that I'm like imagining Whismur, the whole story's changed. But I don't like it. So let's try again. I kind of like this Loudred, but I'm gonna get rid of him. I need to check the size difference. Hold on. Exploud. Let's have the arguing between Loudred and Exploud instead. Have you lost a catch by battery? Sort of like the idea of Loudred and Whismur bringing the wrong instruments to class. It's evolving. Leave any time. Rock band. Oh yeah, rock band. That's the word for it. Electric guitar. My A key is not being cooperative today. He does have those teeth. Dismember them. Wonderful idea. Look longer than I thought. Let's have the argument. Send a gift of Explode scene on Discord. No. Let's see. Explode is 4 foot 11 inches, almost 5. Let's just call that 5. That's like 1 inch short from 5 feet tall. And Loudred is as tall as a 3-foot tree. And Whismur is only 2 feet. So there's quite a big difference. One, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 5 feet tall. So 3 feet would be right here. So that's about right. And then Whismur would be even smaller. I kind of like the idea of a really upset Loudred, not like angry upset, but just like, ah, what do you mean I got it wrong? Anyway, I'm also wondering if I should have Loudred and Whismur kind of like too cool for school, you know? Like, what's another like rock band instrument that's carryable, not a drum set, but would not work in band? What if they're like wearing shades? They're like, whatever, teach. It's like, yo, we're not gonna be part of your band. We got real music to make. Whismur's actually a little too short here, actually, because he's only 1 foot shorter than Loudred. I guess the ears would add a bit. I want to give him like a face mask, but then that'll just cover up his entire like face. So not that. Shape in first. With these Pokemon that are literally just blobs, it can be a little hard to make them the right shape. So gotta find that first. Oh man, I don't. Yeah, like I want to be able to show Whismur's face. I can't just have him facing away from the screen. Okay, so just put Whismur in here. He's got his, like, he's just clutching his clarinet. Like, please don't fight. I just came to play music. I don't really know what a clarinet looks like, honestly. I've caught Tutu the traitor. She wasn't a traitor. She had self-preservation instincts. Okay? Perfect. Doing expressions with those Whismur eyes is hard. It sure is. I have to give it close the normal eyes. Well, as we established earlier, it has actually 8 separate eyes. That's the only way to make sense of the eye situation here. Like, I really want to see one of those people that do the hyper-realistic Pokemon drawings. And just, like, give it spider eyes. Because, you know, they're monsters. They're not actual animals, so you can mix and match animal characteristics from different kingdoms. So just because it's a mammal doesn't mean it can't have spider eyes. Did I make him too big? I might have made him too big. me see. Shrink him down just slightly. Because he's 2, so it's like 2, yeah. And then, let me try and do Joe Cool with Loudred here. He's 3 inches tall, so 3 feet tall. I don't know if that includes the ears. I'm gonna say it doesn't. I know his ears are all the way up here, but I'm still gonna have him do the, like, how do you do it? The pinky in the ear. Down here. Even though he doesn't have an ear down here. I'm gonna bring him up slightly. So that he's on level with Exploud. And I can make Exploud's horns a little longer. I can afford to do that since we have some more space now. I planned to do that from the start. That's why I didn't put the yellow parts in. Oh, another show that I forgot to mention that I am watching currently is Bluey. I think the second season just finished. I've been watching the second season with my other friend, my other friend, and now that it's over, I'm like, how about I start watching the old episodes now. In case you didn't know, Bluey is just a kid's cartoon from Australia, and so there's, like, you know, no real story or anything. It's just episodic. Think like Blue's Clues, but better. So I just jumped in wherever it was, but now that it's over, I've gone back to season 1 to, like, watch all the old episodes. And I've seen some of them already, because he's been showing them to me. But I'm gonna do 1 episode a day. They're like 15 minutes, like 11 to 15 minutes long each. Not even, like 11, I'd say is closer. Very short, but very wholesome, very cute stuff. And I've been enjoying those. Live blogging them as I go along to my friend. I'm swimming in media right now. It's so great. Not to mention, I still plan to watch Dororo eventually. Still want to watch, what's the other one that I was eyeing the other day? Oh shoot, man, I can't remember now. I was just looking at it the other day too when I had my anime to watch list open. He's like, whatever, man. I'm too cool for school. What kind of guitar should it be? Maybe like... maybe a bass guitar? I don't really know where the guitar straps go. Got his tongue sticking out, maybe? Why not? He just wants to play the instrument that he wants to play, you know? The Exploud just wants to run his band club or whatever. He's like, we don't have anything written for you. We don't have a part for you. And then the whole show is about how they get along. The band hasn't been very popular lately, and eventually they find out they can incorporate the electric guitar in traditional band, and everyone loves the new sound. And they get more members, and they find more students who like want to play instruments that weren't accepted before, but now they're finding ways to like incorporate them, and everyone's happy, and we all learned a lesson. We learned to respect each other and make music, and the end. Okay. Loudred's getting a guitar! An anime I can recommend that I'm watching, the new Digimon. The Digimon Try? I haven't heard many good things about it, honestly. Those are the Confusion Eyes in the Hoenn anime. Oh, really? Instead of the swirls? Two animes I'm watching are Digimon and Pokemon. It's like all the 90s shows. No, not Try. There's a new one after that. One newer than that. I had no idea. Hi, Virus. I thought Try was the reboot of the original. I'm going to... Oh, I forgot his nose. I'm going to, look up, let's look up a bass guitar. Bass guitar doesn't look too crazy. Let's look up, electric guitar. I remember way back in my childhood, there was a YouTube video that was just all the rage, and it was just a guy sitting in his room with a baseball cap, so you can't see his face, and like the image quality is really bad. And he's playing an electric guitar, Canon in D, on the electric guitar, and it was so good. I remember years later rediscovering and rewatching the video, and it wasn't as good as I remember it, because it was like transcendent when I first heard it. Now it's just like, oh, that's cool, it's good. But man, I remember the first time I watched that, it was so good. Canon D on the electric guitar. Maybe I should try and find it again and give it another listen. None of these electric guitars are very crazy. I guess I should just go with a just a normal electric guitar. A lot of these are like shaped like normal guitars. And I'm looking for something a little weirder, but I guess I'll go with this one. Oh, Try was a continuation. Because I saw Ty was in it, and I knew that Ty was all grown up in the second season. So I was like, it can't be. A continuation of the continuation. Digimon Try is good, but it's kind of good with the original reboot of 01 original. Talking about Digimon. Seems nice, but I won't watch it. Digimon is really good. It's one of the few shows, like, kids adventure shows where the kids are the main characters and they go off and have their own adventure. It's one of the few of those where they go home and then their parents get involved. Like it's weird enough that they do a nisekai and then they go home. Like they actually find their way back, and then not only do they go home, but then the Digimon go to the real world too, and they like aren't just oh, let's keep them secret. Oh, we can't let anyone know about E.T. Oh, gotta hide the monsters. No, they like wreak havoc in Japan, and then like they're on the news and stuff. I might be misremembering, but I remember they were like on the news, and like the parents got involved, and then they had to like go back, and their parents were like, oh, be careful. It was great. And then like second season I never saw, but I do like the fact that they continued it, that it wasn't like completely new, that they have those same characters but they're older now and it's like a new batch of characters. Season 3 I heard is the best. I have not seen it at all. But the general consensus, at least back in the day, was that Season 3 was the best. Season 4 is the only one that I've seen the whole thing of. It's ridiculous, and it brings me a lot of joy. And one of the first plot twists that really like hit me. So season 4 isn't the greatest, but it does have the best theme song, and it will always have a special place in my heart. Anything after that, I just kind of don't care. Yeah. But Digimon is a good show. I'd say I'm sad I didn't watch more of it. I really like the Digimon's designs. It's an overall good show. Make him a little more angry. Like accusatory angry, not like surprised angry. have your little boom box. Whatever it's called, the thing that like produces the sound. You know? Not boom box, monitor. You need your monitor. Right here. Okay. I actually don't know. I think I have it backwards. Shoot. How do you play a guitar? I think I have it the wrong way. Yeah, I have it the wrong way. Could it be that the strap goes to here? No, that's weird. I don't think that's how it works. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you always play instruments the same way. But that's, I'm not sure if that's how it works. Depends on the person, huh? I don't think I've ever seen anyone play violin with the offhand. But it's possible that that's the case. That's an interesting thing that I would look up if I wasn't on stream and like on a time limit. I was watching a video on Monsters University the other day. It was like an analysis video, and there's something about all the other monsters wearing like varsity jackets and like normal clothing and like polo shirts that makes Mike Wazowski look extremely naked. It's just, I know he wasn't wearing anything in Monsters Inc. And I know, but like a lot of the other monsters weren't either. Like Water News had a nice suit on, but he was, you know, bare bottomed. Sully doesn't wear anything, but at least he has fur. You know, Randall doesn't wear anything. But like, I don't know, he's not in the movie that much, for Monsters U. Mike Wazowski just had these big old feet, these extremely naked legs, and I don't know. Like, I know he's a circle, so like it's hard to dress him up, and he wears a hat sometimes, so like he doesn't go full naked like like everyone else is just wearing clothes. I think a lot of them are like not wearing any pants, but yeah, I can't think of many monsters in the first movie that had to wear clothes. It's almost like we have to show that they're in college, and the only way we can do that is to make them dress like they're in college. It's like monsters have had the same exact fashion as the humans. I don't know how to do his foot. I'm trying to make it look like he's like, he's doing the Joe Cool stance. Joe Cool, so cool. Standing at the water fountain, acting the fool. Maybe I'll just have him standing normally. Don't need to overcomplicate things. Got that sassy hip out. You got the sassy hip out. Get rid of that little triangle there. Like drawing guitars and violins. Okay. Tries a piece of work. Symbiosis coexistence. 5 is one of my favorites. I do like the theme song for 5. Let's see. Going back up. Going back up. Tries too slow. Tries where they're teenagers, the other one is where they're adults. Then goes to the first show reboot. I'm not an avid watcher of anime, so I couldn't care less. I'm with 6 anime from this season. I'm willing to drop some of the if the quality goes down. I don't think I've dropped many shows. I'm a pretty I find it pretty hard to drop shows even when I dislike them. It's like, it holds me hostage. Try like, scraps the last episode of 2. But continues where 2 left off otherwise. I love season 1 and 2 of Digimon, says Tails. Wheeler says, I loved season 3. 1 and 3. Assuming by seasons we mean Adventure 1, Adventure 2, then Tamers. Yep. You're correct, it was on the news. Oh, the 3 movies are a piece of work. No, I love the second season. I just hadn't seen it. But, and I haven't heard super good about it, but it's definitely got that, like, nostalgia vibe. Like, if you saw it at the right time, it's good enough that you would have enjoyed it, and I like that about a show. I have many shows that are like that, where looking back they're probably not good, like, critically, but don't take them away from me. Season 3 is the darkest, so a lot of people feel it's best by default. Oh, I didn't realize that. That's interesting. I like season 4, want to watch 3 and 5. The one where they turn into Digimon. Yes, that was 4. 5 is the worst when you have to face a fight. Be strong, give it your might, Digimon. I've seen all of them except Try. 5 is one of my faves. Loudred is just left-handed. I don't think that's the case with the guitar. It depends on the person. A left-handed person can usually learn to play like a right-handed because it would be bothersome. For example, changing the strings in order. Oh, would you like string it differently too then? Favorite opening and ending of Digimon. Let me think. Silvertap says, Iski Fair. Hi, Iski Fair. Thanks for dropping in. I don't know what Silvertaps is. I only saw like one Digimon episode, and I don't even remember which one it was. My favorite Digimon OP is the Danganronpa music on the title screen of the Digimon Cyber Sleuth game. So like, Wheeler, you said you were watching Digimon right now, right? Like, are you starting from the beginning with the Digimon Adventure? I like the... we look to the past as we head for the future to reclaim the digital world from the 4th season. Best English opening. The other ones I actually really like listening to the dubs of. There's these fan translations by Heizu Otaku. They're really good. Pisses my friends off when they come on my playlist because they hear the instrumental and they're like, oh, I love this song, and then it's like this English cover and they're like, what? But in order, I like the Tamers. Gonna be the biggest dreamer, I'll keep running straight on through. Past yesterday, beyond today, tomorrow's dream come true. That one's my favorite. And then there's season 4 again with Digimon Frontiers. What's it called? Like Blaze Train. I don't know. It's like how does it go again? I can't remember it right now. If I go from the beginning of the video though, because they're like hold on, I need to make sure this is ready to go for line art. Give me a sec. Oh, sorry. He doesn't have his guitar. Okay. See, the problem is I can't cover this side because then you lose this, like, sassy hip. And I can't cover... Maybe... Maybe I could... Goes... Where does the strap go? Goes to here. Goes be under the arm here, goes around, and then goes down this way, I think. And then it's the slant for the electric guitar. And ends up here. Frets. Got this curve. Spike. And then another curve spike. this line. Get rid of this, because I don't know what that is. I'll get rid of this, because I don't know what that is. He's just kind of scratching his face, let's just say that. And then... I need like full concentration for the electric guitar. I don't know what these are. I'll just put some random lines here. And a big one right here. And it's pretty good. I think I can move it down slightly. Okay, anyway, back to Digimon music. Sorry about that. Should I hate this? Like that. So it's whatever the season 4 intro is. Something about like blazing fire. I think I kind of remember one part. It's like, it's time to shine, now's the time. Can't you feel ignition starting inside your soul, the fire in you, the strongest fire. Da, 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 burn up and go. And I don't remember the rest. And anyway, and then next there's Butterfly, the first season one. I don't remember a lot of these because I don't listen to them very often anymore. I only really listen to music in the car, and I have to like have the playlist with me on a USB drive. I don't like listening to the radio or anything because of the commercials that keep coming on. And then we didn't have full data coverage until like just this year. So in order to not use my data up, I wouldn't have like Spotify on. And then I didn't want to like use up phone storage to keep my music on there either, so I wouldn't use Bluetooth. So it would just be like, if I wanted my anime playlist, I would have to get it, put it on a USB, and bring it with me. So I haven't been listening to my anime playlist in a long time, like several months now. So I haven't heard these songs in a long time. I don't remember how Butterfly goes, but I really like that one. Let's see, it's like something butterfly. And then I think then season 5 I actually kind of like it. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. I liked the season 5 intro. And then season 2 I don't really remember at all, so I can't say that I like that one at all. I'm not even going to talk about the English dubbed intros because they are just garbage. Like, as intros, they're great. They're really good as an intro to, like, a show. Gets me pumped up to watch Digimon, but I don't listen to that kind of stuff as just music. This is a Digimon, digital monsters. It's like, that's not a song. That's a chant. It's like a jingle. But yeah, if you haven't heard the dubs for the Digimon's Japanese intros, I forget the guy. I think it's like Tay something, like the guy who like sings it. But Heizu Otaku was the one that, I don't know what they go by now. They haven't put out content in a long time, as far as I know. But they used to go by Heizu Otaku, and they did a bunch of dub translations for songs that and stuff. So they're really good. I haven't heard any of the endings, so I can't have nothing to contribute there. Sorry. I think I'm ready for line art. That's as good as I think it's gonna get. Wait. Okay. Am I gonna have time? I should have time. Let's see if I can keep some of this energy. This is the kind of sketch that I love, and whenever I have a sketch this good and then I put line art on it, it ends up losing all of its energy. Look at all this, like, this just raw energy of me, like, throwing down lines, this chicken scratch over here as I, like, erase parts to like, when I'm carving out forms like this, I don't know exactly where it is. I just, like, kind of put in lines, and then if it goes too far, I cut it back. But, like, once that's down and I do the line art, I have to make a decision on where that goes. And sometimes I go too far, and it kind of, like, destroys the energy that the original sketch had. I'm gonna try and keep it a little bit loose. To try and keep some of that energy, but that's not really... When it turns into liner, it kind of makes it feel messy rather than... Like, right now, yes, it's messy. But for some reason, I like this messy. If I turn it into line art, it doesn't look right. It starts to look bad messy. Maybe because I'm trying to be messy, like on purpose, and then that just doesn't look good. Whereas with the sketch, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just finding the form. My concentration is elsewhere. Oh boy. Make sure my stabilization is a little higher for line art. Oh, shoot. I'm using the wrong brush. That would also cause some issues, wouldn't it? You get that out of here. Do I want to use the Nuzlocke line or do I want to use a smooth line? I'm gonna go with the smooth line. This eye, it's too much. Like, I didn't define the shapes at all. So now I'm like trying to find where it looks good. Like which one of these sketch lines do I want to keep? That is the question. I feel like I need a lot of these up in the brow because they sort of become furrows. They're a little more necessary than, say, the man. And the lines up in the horns, let's say. And let's get our hard edge round boy eraser. Bring the muzzle up, past the eye, block the eye off a little. That gives it a little more form, or rather like, makes it seem like there's a little more form because the eye isn't coming down over it. I'm a little close. It's hard to tell if these are the right strokes. Maybe if I make the liner, the sketch a little bit less. Yeah, I think I'm gonna forego trying to make it messy. There's gotta be a way to keep the energy without having to make the strokes literally energetic. I see it a lot in watercolor, where I'll look at a painting and I'll be like, wow, like, look at all these splashes and all of these like spatter techniques. It looks like the artist was literally throwing paint on the paper. But then you like watch them draw and they're very meticulous about it. They'll like place down paint. Oh, they'll like place down water and then they'll like dab the paint in it and watch it like spread, and then they'll like coax it in a certain way, and then they'll like, you know, wait a little while. They'll like look at it, see what it does. They're very deliberate is the word. To create a sense of spontaneity and a sense of randomness with a deliberate touch. That's like the mark of mastery right there. A lot of the stuff I do, I kind of stumble into it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. You can't, with that kind of stuff, you can't teach it. There's no like technique to teach when you're just figuring it out every time, you know? Not everything has to be a teaching moment, but if you can explain it to someone else, that means you understand it yourself, typically speaking. What if I move his tooth back down here? wonder if this part should just dip down. I don't know. I think keeping the tooth over here is the best call. I did put it here in the sketch. I should trust my sketch. Sometimes when I get a little too close, zoomed in like this, I can't see the whole picture. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll make a little adjustment, like move the tooth over. Because in this one small little snapshot, it feels more balanced that way. But then if I zoom back out, it wasn't the case. So I'm gonna put it back to where I had it. Favorite Digimon OP? Oh, okay, I saw that one. Love the second ending of Tamers. I should give it a try. Digimon try. I was just, excuse me, watching the newest. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I forgot. You said it, and I processed the information, and then I didn't retain it. But yes, you're right. Second opening. Maybe I need to give it another shot. I don't remember that one for some reason. Fortunately, I'm the only Pokeanime fan I know who watches in Japanese. That's some really good translation. No one to piss off with English covers of Japanese intros. Let's see. Just download and use Bluetooth. Listen to my anime playlist in the car every day. I like my anime playlist. The problem is I can't sing along. I like to sing when I listen to music, and with anime, I cannot. So I need to have something to break that, break through that so that I have something to belt out now and then. It does help that I have a lot of dubbed intros, so I can sing along to those. You know? Got my, Shaman King, you know, obviously. Got my Pokemon. Got my Digimon stuff. Got One Piece I have 2 of. I like the Weir 1 or something, like it's some kind of weird Japaneseism where it kind of makes sense but not really. The first one, basically. And then Bon Voyage is good. What other English ones? Anime intros did I have? And then even when it wasn't in English, you know, I would still, like, blather out Japanese sounding syllables to the other songs. This tooth also... Because you see how, like, the bottom jaw, the teeth actually don't connect to his gums? It like, is protruding out of the actual outside mouth part. The teeth like grow out of the lips. What if it's the same up top? Something like that. I have a whole playlist of just Disney songs. I have a non-Disney playlist of like DreamWorks theme songs from television shows that aren't anime, Don Bluth songs like the Land Before Time musics, and of course the All Dogs Go to Heaven. I don't know who did the Charlotte's Web, but I have that one. Charlotte's Web, the song that Wilbur the pig sings when he first speaks is like, it's so funny. Cause like in the context of the show, he's just been like a normal pig up to that point. And then they drop him off at the farm cause he's a pig. He's a grown pig now. He ain't a piglet no more. You can't keep him in the house. Whatever the girl's name was, Penny or whatever. So they give him to their old Uncle Zuckerman, the farmer. And I forget, was it like a shh? It was the goose. The goose was like, "Oh, hello, what's your name?" And Wilbur's like, "Squeak, squeak," because he's a pig. He's like, "Oink, oink." And the goose is like, "Don't you know your name? Can't you talk? It's easy. Just give it a try." And he just goes, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, Wilbur," and then he can talk. But then he sings an entire musical number where he uses just the largest words possible. I'm trying to remember how it starts. Let me catch up with the chat. Listen to them every day, prefer the Japanese intros, at least in some cases. 0. I do like I did with that one Pika drawing. Line with the airbrush. Wheeler! No! When would you consider getting a Raichu? My Emerald Lock has a Raichu. Won't appear in comic for a long while, but it'll be there. Okay, Safari Zone. I was not expecting that. Not one bit. Speaking of anime, has anyone seen the Unicorn Trilogy? I've never heard of it. It's a Transformers thing. Interesting. Savage Tag, how you do? How do you do? But he's like, I can talk. That's right, that's how it starts. It's like, I can talk. Dun, dun, I can talk. Dun, dun. I can actually, factually talk. Isn't it great that I articulate? Isn't it grand that you can understand? And then the verses are hilarious. He goes, wait, shoot. The verse is like I pop with persicacity, I'm loaded with loquacity, my vocalized veracity is tops. Somatically, each bit of me is the verbalized epitome, my plethora of pattern never stops. It's hilarious. I love that he just learns how to talk, and then it's just like all these huge words, and the song just went completely over my head as a kid. I had completely forgotten about it, honestly, because I didn't understand it, and I don't like things I don't understand, so it didn't stick with me until like when I grew up and I was listening to the soundtrack, and I'm like, what? This is amazing! This is an amazing song! Charlotte's Web, a good cartoon. I got a couple of songs from like Schoolhouse Rock. I really like Schoolhouse Rock. That was like one of the main sources of joy in my elementary to middle school career, was when the teacher brought out the old VHS TV player combo and put on Schoolhouse Rock. Learned the preamble of the Constitution. Learn what a predicate is. The other thing I really liked was Eyewitness. Whenever Eyewitness was brought out, that was my favorite, honestly. I loved Eyewitness. I loved Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know if we watched Magic School Bus in school. But I certainly didn't watch it at home, so I feel like it had to have been. I do know when we had computer lab days, there was Magic Schoolhouse on the computer. It was like a game or something. So we certainly had that. Make this little bump here a little more protruded. Right now it kind of just looks like I made a mistake with the liner. There, now it looks a little more on purpose. I played a lot of Animal Crossing yesterday because it was Bunny Day. Gotta get all the furniture and stuff. I had pretty much all of the furniture except for like 4, I think, which I got relatively quickly from the balloons. But then I was still missing one, and I refused to look up a list. So I ran around for like a good 1 to 2 hours just hunting down balloons looking for that last DIY recipe. It turns out it was a recipe I already had. I just didn't craft it because I didn't know it counted. It was one of the wearable items. I think it was like the flower crown. I was so upset, but it finally freed me from the Easter Bunny. And it's so nice not finding any eggs today. Though I've been eating the eggs because I didn't realize they're actually, it costs, well, you can make twice as much selling the eggs as you can native fruit. And I didn't know that. So I had been gobbling down the eggs and selling cherries. You know, like a moron. So I sold all my eggs today. I'll just eat cherries from now on. Oh, I really like how that's coming out. Okay, I really like this hand, and I don't want to mess it up, so... Really like how, like, kind of wrinkly I was able to make it. It looks like a big, fat hand. I like it. Hands are one of those things that, when stylized properly, can look so good. I haven't yet found my style for hands, but someday I will. I just need to practice a little bit more. I know what kind of hands I enjoy seeing. I'm really into the... Basically, it's the gorillas. If anyone remembers the gorillas, it's like big, chunky, thick, square fingers. Like, gross amount of detail. Yeah, I think you also kind of get it in Emperor's New Groove. Kind of has that. The doctor guy from Treasure Planet, the dog doctor guy. He has those hands, just like really solid, chunky. Zigzagoon's like, not unicorn! Unicron! You know, the giant planet-eating monster. That also happens to be a planet. I don't know anything about Transformers, I'm not gonna lie. Drake says, I ate a turkey wrap inside lettuce avocado for dinner. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It may sound atrocious. Draining my Darumaka. I was quite the opposite Zero. I watched Magic School Bus at home. I had Magic School Bus games too. I used to rent them from the public library even. Ah, good times. I love old PC games. Wheeler says you could say that it's excellent. Yeah! Feels good to think about how I have no work tomorrow. And you beat Clay? No, I'm lost. Should've known. Flair, Puncho, Challenger Bex has won the match. Nice. What happened to work, Wheeler? Did they finally, close down? Or are you just taking tomorrow off? Are you taking tomorrow off, or did they force you to take it off? I guess is the better question. Wheeler's like, I wish. Aw. Okay, so like the feet are like the opposite problem for me. I'm not really happy with how the feet are. They're a little small, but I'm keeping it that way for comedic proportions. But I'm not super set on the way they look, so I'm also kind of trying to make it better as I'm lining it, as opposed to the hand, which was like perfect the way it was. So my job there was to like try and not mess it up, get the right lines, but the right lines were there. With the feet, I don't necessarily think these are the right lines. Like, how is it supposed to connect to the belly here? I don't know. Maybe there's a flab of skin that goes like that. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the leg is supposed to roll up a little bit. I need to make it thicker. Big guy like this needs to have a thick base. That includes the line. Make it thicker without messing up the contour. There we go. My goal is to get at least Explode done today. I don't think I'm gonna finish the whole image. Which sucks because I used to be able to do at least one of these on stream time. I don't know if I'm getting slower or if they're getting harder. No, they're not getting harder. What am I talking about? I must be getting slower. See, like, I don't feel like these are the same feet. You know? Like, it just seems like a different style of foot. Make the toes bigger on this one to match this one. Thicken up the lines maybe a little. Da 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 da. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me see if I can backtrack to before that. That's about where I am. Let me reevaluate. Okay. So like my Joy-Con problem has finally gotten to a point where it's almost unplayable. I looked it up and it's like a thing. It's called Joy-Con drift. And there doesn't seem to be anything in place to replace or fix it. So what I've done is I've ordered a new left Joy-Con because our right one seems to be fine. All things considered. There might be something wrong with it, I don't know. I haven't had to control any characters with or like make any selections with the right one, so even if it is bad, it's not much of a problem right now. I ordered a new left Joy-Con, and then I also ordered some parts because my friend said he had the same issue and ordered a new joystick, replaced it, and it works fine. So I got a kit, a joystick kit, and will try to fix the broken ones. I would have just bought the joysticks to try and fix the problem before ordering a new Joy-Con, except I had ordered the Joy-Con and then I told my friend about it, who then told me about the fix, and then at that point I couldn't cancel the order because I ordered it through GameStop. So I'm just gonna keep it. Eventually I'll probably just buy another right Joy-Con to have an additional set. Besides, the one I bought is pre-owned. The only affordable ones were pre-owned. They didn't even have new ones available, I don't think. It was pretty late when I was buying these. So yeah, I'm not much of a handy person though. I like to do stuff, certainly, with my hands, but it's mostly due to like not wanting to pay for a service. And I'm usually not that good at it on my own. Thank goodness for the School of Google though, and YouTube. The other day my dad was talking about how he looked up a video on how to do something, like how to fix something or other. And he was wondering, like, who puts these videos up? Who's the guy who's like, this is my calling, is to put up a video on how to fix your toilet or something? And my dad was like, makes me feel like I should make a video, you know, like, give back to the community. Sure. Yeah. If you want to, if you feel like. There's no way he was serious. My dad's quite the joker, but it's just a funny notion. So there was a new trailer that dropped for Soul, the next Pixar movie. I call it new because I just discovered it. I don't know if it just dropped or if it's been out for a while. The teaser for Soul didn't get me very excited. In fact, it made me quite worried. A little annoyed. Certainly not going to watch. The new trailer, though, fleshed out a bit more stuff in that it showed us more footage, and the footage seems a little more promising, I have to say. So it's been a while since Pixar has put out anything that I've super enjoyed, but this new trailer for Soul makes me, I don't know if hopeful is the right word, but it has piqued my interest more than it has been piqued in the past. Certainly more than Onward, which I still haven't seen. Nearly have no chance against Flare Punch. Well, they forced me, but we aren't closed either. Get Tuesday, Thursday off now. Instead of the weekends, or like in addition to. Yeah, my brother got laid off too. That's why I started streaming on those days. Oh, that makes sense. Oh man, but like Tuesday is anime day. What's your YouTube, Wheeler? Same as here. Although I only stream on Twitch. I found Clay's gym. Good job. And my superior sock handled them easily, along with Basculin. Sock's dead. Oh, I recommend a Pro controller. It's more expensive, but it doesn't have the drift problem, so it lasts longer. I don't have a Pro controller, but I do have one of those GameCube controllers. I did have a Pro controller at one point, but then I returned it. Well, I didn't return it because I think it was already too late, but I traded it in for a GameCube style controller, because the Pro controller is almost like the Joy-Cons in that it has like the same button placements, but the buttons, for whatever reason, are bigger, and my small baby fingers can't properly use them. I tried to play Undertale with it, and I tried to play Hollow Knight with it, and it was hard with Undertale, but I thought maybe that was just because of the game. And it was, you know, I don't know. I just assumed it was because of the game. Hollow Knight, though, I started with the Joy-Con and did alright with. And then for some reason, when I picked up the, I don't know what to call it, the GameCube controller, it was more difficult. And I was like, I couldn't control it as well. And I was like, what's going on? And that's when I realized it's freaking not the same. So I'm like, you know what? If it's not going to be the same anyways, I might as well get what I wanted in the first place. When I first got the Pro controller, I was dumb and I didn't realize it wasn't the same as the GameCube controller. Because I just assumed, I didn't even look at the thing. You know, when I bought it, I didn't even like look at it closely. I just assumed if it says Pro controller, then it's the GameCube version of the controller. And yes, the shape was different, but I figured they would, like, they were just changing the shape to to be more modern, more marketable. It wasn't until later that I realized what had happened. But you know, like if it worked well, I wouldn't have. It at the very least, it was, and I have to clarify, when I'm talking about the Pro controller, I am talking about the cheaper ones that are plug and play, not the ones that I don't know how they Bluetooth, how they sync up, but they're like $20 some. You can get them used too for even less. So I'm not talking about like the expensive Pro controllers. So if there's a difference there also, then I wouldn't know. I'm not about to drop a lot of money on grip comfort when the Switch Joy-Cons, if they worked, are actually really nice. They're a good size for my wee hands, and when you have them in the sad dog, they're very comfy. Sadly, I'm having drift problems with it. Okay, I'm going to draw this tuba. Wish me luck. Does anyone remember an old cartoon where this owl guy would stand in front of a chalkboard, I guess? You would go into like his bird house and he would teach you stuff. And there was one episode where they talked about music. Because I had that recorded on some kind of VHS with a whole bunch of others, and I would watch that all the time. It was super fun. I loved. There was one part, I think it was near the beginning, where they talked about the evolution of musical instruments, and they're like, everything comes from four unique sounds: the toot, the whistle, the plunk, and the boom. And there were like these cavemen, and these cavemen would like one of them had a grass whistle. He'd go brrr, and then the grass whistle would turn into like a flute, and then this other guy would have like a reed with holes cut out of it, and he would like blow in, and, like, and then it turns into a clarinet or a trumpet or something. And then this other guy had like, he would just like hit his belly and it'd go boom, and then it turned into a drum. And I just love the simple animation on it, and the transformation. Cautiously optimistic. In addition to the weekend, I stream noon to 4, so it won't interfere with anime. Woohoo! Hyper potions and moo milk are the best. Does GameCube controller work with not Smash Bros? I would assume it works with Mario Kart. I haven't tried it on Animal Crossing because I keep forgetting I have it. And the only one they had at the store was the Mario one, so I have like this Mario controller. I keep forgetting I have it. Like, honestly, that's just the thing. That's literally why I haven't used it that much. I tried to use it with Pokemon, and it works, but like it doesn't have the motion. What is it? The sensitivity of the vibrate. So we got to the the ice gym, and I was like, what? How am I supposed to? And everyone's like, no, you have to use the Joy-Con. I watched a video the other day on Cockney accents. That wasn't a Cockney accent. I just did a weird accent when I said the word Cockney accent. They went through like 3 different stages of Cockney. So Cockney is apparently the London accent of the working class. I think like Michael Caine. And a lot, like, suddenly some of the stuff I was hearing in Galar suddenly made sense. So like they went through the different levels, right? Like first you have just like the phonic differences when certain sounds get changed. For instance, when you say the word, the sound the in like mother and father in Cockney, it would change to I think a V sound, so it was like mother. I think that's the one. But then, like, if it's a TH in a different word, it has an F sound. I can't remember. So, like, the first step is, the sound changes. Like, you would drop the H at the start of words. Like, how's it going? Instead of how is it going? And then the next step was, like, slang. So certain words, they have different ways of saying them, you know? And then that's where you get your chin wags, you know? Like from the Pokemon. You're gonna have a little chin wag. Or instead of saying girl, you would say bird. Or instead of like elevator, you say lift. Stuff like that. But like it still made sense. The words that they're supposed to be, you can kind of understand what they're supposed to be from the new word that's being used. It like kind of had similar meaning. I guess. I'm trying to think of another one. I can't. And then there's a third stage in which I think they called it rhyming slang, in which there's no logical explanation or throw line. The reason for the slang is because it rhymes. So for instance, instead of saying the word phone, like, can I borrow your phone? They would call it a dog's bone or something, because bone rhymes with phone. Like, give the dog a bone. But then they'll also drop the word sometimes. The like second word, they'll like drop the rhyme, so it would end up being, can I borrow your dog to call the missus? The missus being your girlfriend. And that's why Hop says I'm cream crackered, because cream crackered rhymes with tuckered. means tired. The guy also said, like, instead of saying TV or television, they would call it the custard. Get down, I can't see the custard, because it's custard jelly rhymes with telly. You go down to the bar to grab a few Britneys means beers, because Britney Spears rhymes with beers. Grab a few Britneys at the bar. I was like, excuse me? It's amazing. I love it. Speaking of vibrate, has anyone ever been able to disable that? I think some games let you disable it. It's like per game. You have to check in the settings for your game. You know, sometimes learning a dialect can be just as complicated as learning a language. I don't know. I don't know how do this? What is this supposed to look like? Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a different layer. I'm gonna rotate the canvas over. I'm gonna figure this out today. We're gonna figure this out today. We're gonna make this happen. Okay, so this goes around the tuba. Maybe I should sketch this. I should do a sketch. Make another layer. Okay, so I got this part. This goes straight, and then okay, right? This part is pretty thin, actually. This whole thing is just a mess. It's not proper proportions. I do have it slightly turned, so I'm using that as an excuse for any disproportionate. Okay, and then this goes down. This goes down, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's a thing that's like this here. I thought the guitar was complicated, and now I'm drawing a tuba. I thought the guitar was complicated, and then tuba happened. I think it just curls around. Up and in? And then up. Yeah, up and an in. I think there's like 1, 2, 3. Did anyone play in the band? Anyone here who plays tuba? Band instruments are just too much. Especially the brass. There's too many buttons. Why do you need so many buttons and tubes? Let me see if let me see if this works. It doesn't have to look accurate. It doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to look good enough. If you can tell what it is and it makes sense, then it's good enough. Do your characters, from anything, if you're a writer, do your characters play any instruments? And if they don't, do they wish they played any instruments? I don't think Jet plays any instruments. But I feel like if she did, she would play a harmonica. But not well. She would own a harmonica, but she wouldn't know how to play it. Think it's hard to say if Sharon would have played an instrument, because as much as a Asian stereotype as it is for Asian parents to like make their kids play instruments, in the Pokemon universe, it's there's kind of a different sort of culture of you're gonna be a Pokemon master. So I feel like maybe that would have been the thing. Like parents would like make their kids, I don't know, go to battle camp or something rather than orchestra camp. His parents were always too focused on his brother anyway, so who can say? Bianca, I feel like, definitely played an instrument. She was kind of a stuck-at-home kid, not allowed to go anywhere, so her parents would have kept her busy. She would have had an instrument, I think. Which one? Maybe piano, I guess? It's kind of a instrument that you can't really take anywhere. ring him up on the dog phone. Hey, you're actually doing my idea? Yep. I don't have any instrument playing characters at the moment, but I used to. What would... Are there instruments in Fire? In that, like, universe? What kind of instruments do Pokemon play? I have a sneeze. Just tickling my nose. And it's not coming out. And it's not going in. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, put these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know what any of these parts are. And I'm definitely missing a few, but as long as it looks roughly like it's the right thing. I wonder in fantasy worlds if there's an instrument kind of like the recorder where everyone pretty much knows how to somewhat play it because they give you one in school, like in grade school. So like it's the quintessential like I think it technically is a legit instrument, but everyone just sees it as that like that thing that they give you for free in school, and so everyone has one, so it's just so linked in your brain to like like, oh, people who can't, it's like a non-musician's instrument. It's for people who can't play other instruments. Everyone at least has played a recorder before. Wonder in like fantasy worlds if there's a instrument like that, like in Fire. I guess every culture would have something different, but that has been a part of my culture growing up. For those of you who grew up elsewhere, not in the United States, did you guys have something like that? Was there an instrument that everyone would get to like learn basic do re mi's in like first grade or something when you have music class? Be interested to know. And I am almost out of time, but I do want to finish the Exploud. I do want to at least finish the Exploud. And then we'll draw something. I realize it's been a long time since I've done the Pokemon challenge list. We had some fun last time. But I do keep skipping them because they do take a long time, and when I'm down to the wire like this, it's you know, if I end up starting one now, I'll be going until like 12. So I think I'll just do something simple. Maybe I'll draw it from memory, maybe I'll draw it in a different style, but I'll pick one of the simple ones instead of rolling for it, because I think it's a little late to start designing something like a Mega Evolution. So I'll you know, maybe I'll just do the thing where you guys shout a bunch of Pokemon and then I draw all of them. Because that's always fun to just kind of get some sketching in, you know? Like, we always talk about warm-ups, but what about cooldowns? It's, gotta get your stretches in before and after, right? I don't know if that's how it works with drawing, but... In fact, since we're getting down to the wire, why don't you start dropping those Pokemon? Start listing off some Pokemon you want to see me draw that maybe you haven't seen me draw before. Maybe just like one that you really like that you want me to give a go, another shot at. Okay, but okay, so this is kind of this feels like a non like a weird random segue, but I swear like this just came to my head, so I have to talk about it. Because for some reason I had Skimbleshanks pop into my head from the musical Cats, and like 2 lines in, it starts with a time. I think it's like 11:42. It doesn't matter what the time is. It's a time. And so when I was thinking about that, the time in the song, I suddenly started thinking about Tangled, because in the beginning of Tangled, she has a song, and it has a time. And the time makes no sense because she says what's the line? She's like 7 a.m. the usual morning lineup. And then she does a bunch of stuff. She's like sweeps the floors till they're all clean. She does the laundry. She does all this stuff. And then it's 7:15. It's like, girl, there is no way. Did I scare the rats? Girl, there's no way you got your laundry done and mopped the floors and swept and polished all in 15 minutes. Sorry. That's just something I thought of. It's completely random, but there was a segue in my brain that might not have made any sense to anyone else, so I just had to share. And with that, I'm gonna stop drawing this image because I don't quite like how those ears are coming out, and I might just like redo them next week when I look at them again. Or I might be lazy and leave them. I don't know. I'm gonna be preemptive and delete this part so that I have to do something next week. It's been fun. Gotta crash. Sayonara. Rough translation. Good night. Mouse is back. Give us the instrument playing Shelly and Cedar. Drake says, I won. Mouse says, well, funny you say that, Wheeler. Wait for Fire, Chapter 6. Mincino. Wheeler says, I grew up in the US and still didn't have anything like that. Really? Maybe it's just the East Coast thing? Maybe it's just the Virginia thing. I don't know. I always say Pikachu and Braixen, but I always forget my third of my super faves. Well, is that a Mew? Pikachu, Braixen, and Mew. Zebstrika and Servine. Draw a deerling. I've been super into deers lately. I'd say Sawsbuck, but self-care is not drawing antlers. Rapunzel getting 8 chores done in 15 minutes. Jealousy is a disease. Get well soon. Exactly. Yeah, I don't quite know what deerling look like. I just know that deers have big ears. So from memory, I'm going to attempt to draw a deerling, but I'm gonna just basically draw a deer and put leaves on it. Because Deerling is one of those Pokemon that, to me at least, having not like properly looked at them, just seem like just an animal with coloring on it to make it a Pokemon. And when that's the case, it's hard to keep them separate. What part was colored, what part was the animal? I believe it has some kind of fringe like this going on. It has spots because baby deer have spots. Like, I don't even think the tail was anything special. skinny deer feet that are almost nothing. Have you ever read the Firebringer book? Novel thing? It's a pretty good book. If you're into deer right now, you should check it out. Made by same guy who did the Sight, which is about wolves. The Firebringer. David something Clemens, I think, is the author. Not the same as the book about unicorns, which is something like The Firebringer. Which is the first time I realized unicorns were not just horses with horns on their head, that there's actually a few other design elements that put them apart. Namely, unicorns have lion-like tails. The long snake-like tail that has a tuft of fur at the end, like a lion. They have beards. Typically, they're supposed to have these wispy beards and sticky up hair. Okay, that's a deerling, as well as I can remember it. Zebstrika. Zebstrika is a little more complicated. I don't feel like drawing it complicated, so let's do this. If you've ever heard of or enjoyed Watership Down, you should also read Firebringer, because it's essentially the same story, but with deer. And it goes in different directions. The scene with the wolf that in Firebringer that I just, oh man, I love to death. Big formative moment for Baby Zero, I'd say. It's so nice that villagers can wear actual clothes now, with sleeves and hats. This truly is the future. Dresses instead of just a tube. Yeah, you know, I think I like doing the Animal Crossing style a little more when it's more complex Pokemon with more anatomy, something with more anatomy. When the Pokemon is already kind of simplified, it makes it really hard to Animal Crossing it, because you're just further simplifying it. Occasionally it won't look any different either. Now, I don't know what the markings are like. I think there's a snoot, there's like something on the eye? I'm just gonna make that up. Looks about right. I don't have any idea. Something like that. Maybe like that. Something like that. Joan Eve. Rapunzel, Deerling basically just exists to be cute and change with the seasons. It's a big thing since Saucebook's antlers are like tree branches. I would check out that book. David Clement Davis. Surely you must be lying to me. For a hot minute I forgot Pikachu isn't the only Pokemon with lightning-shaped parts. Firebringer is just Watership Down written with deer. I have no idea how it got published. I don't think Watership Down had the human element to it though. Not human element. What is it? Shoot, I'm getting it confused with the site. The communication element where one Pokemon when one animal can like talk to several different animals. I don't remember that part in Watership Down. In fact, I think there was a part in Watership Down where they had to deal with a bird and they couldn't really understand it because it had a thick accent. All animals are Pokemon. Fine, Firebringer and Watership Down with deer and fire. Even more interested. Yeah, like check it out. It's pretty much exactly the same. But I think it's still different enough. Wheeler, I don't quite remember exactly how Eve looks. I just know she's really floofy. And I think you gave her speckles now? I don't remember the speckles. I'm gonna have to look for a reference of Eve and Pulse eventually because I still owe you a drawing. Once I finish the next Jet episode, which is almost done. I'm like a few backgrounds to go. And I think that will do it for today. Let me catch up a bit. Ultra Beast thing. Oh, hey, that joke came from my stream. I should upload the Pulse and Ava ref to DA. You should. You absolutely should. As well as me. I should upload some refs of my characters. I keep wanting commissions done, and I never have proper references to give people. I need to make a proper turnabout. But yeah, I think that about does it. Let me go back to the drawing that we had. This is the image that we've been working on today. Since Mouse wasn't here for most of the stream, if you want to see. There we go. We got Exploud upset that, you know, either Loudred brought the electric guitar to their marching band practice or their symphony band practice, or he just doesn't like how he's playing. Either or, Loudred has an attitude. Exploud is being unreasonable. Whismur is just here to have fun and doesn't like all this yelling. And we will finish this hopefully next stream. But until then, I want to thank all of you for coming by and hanging out. And I hope you guys stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. And we will catch you again next week for some more noodling, for some more doodling. Keep your noses clean, everyone. Hey, like, for real this time. I used to say that all the time because of my Animal Crossing boyfriend, Olaf, has that written on the back of his picture frame, which he still hasn't given me. And it says, keep your nose clean. And I used to say that. But now, with the way things are, it actually applies. So keep your noses clean, and I'll see you next week. Have a lovely night.